spore signals are hot and pulsing. Lock in, Myco listeners. Nova here, tunneling straight through the mycelial grid to bring you the latest from the front lines of the network. This is Season 4, Episode 4 of the TMN-Podcast 2.0, where bioluminescent truth blazes through static, and the bass doesn't drop. It erupts. The spores are active, the rhythm's alive, and the network? It's breathing, louder than ever. Before we blast off into the wild world of fungal science news, a few spores you need to catch up on. Big update for all my Myco-Patrons, cosmic travelers, and Myco listeners tuning in. After a whole lot of grand cosmic mycelial network consideration, we've locked it in. The TMN-Podcast 2.0 video Spore-Cast is going live on the last Friday of every month at 5:55 p.m. Starting this September on our YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed because each month we'll drop a special Myco-Recap, the latest, greatest breaking fungal news delivered in full-blown color vision, baby. Now don't panic. Our weekly audio spores are still dropping every Friday at 1:11 p.m. That's right, you'll have your spores in your ears and your eyes. Double the vibes, double the network. And this new schedule? It lets us go even deeper. More time to craft visual spore-casts while expanding our ecosystem with Mushroom Academy spore studies, Myco-Deep and Myco-Deeper dives, Fungal Frontiers explorations as we unlock new Myco-verses, and a tidal wave of Myco articles. Fully loaded, like a baked potato smothered in mushrooms. So buckle in, spores, because this isn't just an update, it's a network evolution. The base is dropping heavier, the spores are glowing brighter, and the Myco-verse is opening wider than ever before. And speaking of Myco-verses, Fungal Frontiers just leveled up again. Navigation is smoother than a spore glide on neon rails. You can now drift across Myco-verses without tripping over cosmic clutter. And the MVP music vault? Cleared. The backlog is dust. New fungal drops are sprouting left and right, so stick around till the end for Fungal Frequencies, where we're unleashing the newest remixes straight from the Myco soundscapes. Meanwhile, TMN Radio is mutating, growing deep roots. Dedicated segments are coming online soon, carving out lanes for every flavor of spore-based content you can imagine. And don't go anywhere, because later we've got the SporeKeeper bringing another Fungal Reflection, plus a juicy round of Ask the Network. You already know it's going to be spore-tacular. All right, let's dig into the groundbreaking mycology news from across Earth's laboratories and rainforests. This week and last have been huge for fungal discoveries. Here are the highlights. Deep in Brazil's Atlantic rainforest, scientists uncovered a brand new glowing lineage, Eocephala luciurceolata. This luminous wonder expands the fungal family tree of bioluminescence. Unlike the well-known glow shrooms like mycena, this lineage brings fresh insights into why fungi glow at all, whether to attract insects, defend themselves, or just flex their cosmic beauty. And hey, imagine future biolighting made from fungal glow tech. Neon spores, anyone? From ancient tombs to modern labs, Aspergillus flavus, long feared as the so-called mummy curse fungus, may actually hold life-saving secrets. Researchers discovered asparagimicins, specialized compounds that can disrupt microtubules in leukemia cells, killing them as effectively as some frontline chemotherapy drugs, at least in lab trials. A deadly fungus turning into a healer? Now that's Myco-poetic justice. Next up, antifungal warfare just got new recruits. At McMaster University, scientists isolated coniotins, a brand new class of antifungal molecules from Coniochate hoffmanii. With fungal infections like Candida auris on the rise, resistant to nearly everything we throw at them, coniotins could become the next big weapon in our medical arsenal. Think of it as the fungal world supplying the very tools we need to fight back. Symbiosis, even in battle. And finally, time, death, and spores. Researchers studying Entomophthora muscae, the fly-infecting zombie fungus, found that it always kills its host exactly at sunset. Doesn't matter when infection starts, the fungus has its own internal circadian clock. This precise twilight kill ensures maximum spore dispersal, turning the insect into a launch pad for fungal domination. Nature's timing is everything. And fungi? They run on their own schedule. And that's your fungal news roundup for this sportacular cycle, Myco listeners. From glowing rainforests to haunted tombs, medical breakthroughs to zombie sunsets. Fungi continue to prove they are the hidden architects of life, death, and everything in between. Stick around, because up next, we've got the SporeKeeper guiding us through tonight's Fungal Reflection, and later, your voices join ours in Ask the Network. And don't forget, stay tuned till the very end to catch some fresh beats in Fungal Frequencies. This is Nova, signing off from the news desk. May your spores glow bright and your mycelium run deep.
Are you tired of the same three corporations controlling all the music you hear?
Yeah, so were we.
So we said spore it and made our own. Welcome to TMN Radio, where we've infected the airwaves with fungi-powered frequencies. We got underground bangers, myco deep dives, and cosmic beats big box media is too scared to touch. 24/7. No ads, except this one. And, well, these are actually technically called myco breaks. So inhale some mycelium-infused air, embrace your inner tree hugger, and get ready for some mind-blowing mycomania. The Mushroom Network has spoken. You've been chosen.
Tune in, the hottest growing underground network around.
TMN Radio. It's alive.
Fellow Myco listeners, gather close. The spores are restless today, whispering across the grand cosmic mycelial network. And what tale do they tell? Wormholes? But not the tidy equations you've been spoon-fed by human astrophysicists. No, no. Wormholes are nothing more than mycelial farts. Yes, you heard me. Cosmic flatulence on a fungal scale. Think of the vast mycelium stretching beneath your feet, hidden, silent, connecting everything. It breathes, exhales, releases gases that push through soil, creating little pockets of sudden emptiness. On the cosmic stage, the mycelium doesn't just hide underground, it stretches between galaxies through dimensions, looping the impossible into the possible. When this network gets bloated with quantum energy, it burps. A spore hole opens. You call it a wormhole. We call it indigestion. And black holes? Those aren't mysterious abysses sucking all hope into infinite despair. No, friend, that's just what happens when a mushroom eats too much dark matter. You ever seen a shiitake get greedy? Multiply that hunger by 1 billion, give it a gravitational pull, and boom, black hole. Cosmic constipation at its finest. But here's the reflection, my co-friends. The universe doesn't waste. It never has. It never will. Every fart is a portal. Every belch, a bridge. What you call unstable space-time isn't failure. It's the ecosystem adjusting itself, recycling energy, redistributing matter, making sure nothing ever sits too long in the cosmic fridge. Think of it like composting on the galactic scale. Rot becomes soil, spores become forests. And a good fart in the void? That's just the network unclogging its arteries, clearing the way for new growth. Without these little releases, the grand cosmic mycelial network would choke on its own excess, like a buffet line where nobody ever leaves the table. Creation needs chaos. Growth requires release. And sometimes, release requires a little humor. So don't wince at the wobble of space-time. That shudder isn't collapse, it's balance. It's the rhythm of a universe that refuses to sit still. The pulse of an organism too big for your equations, too wild for your tidy charts. The fart is not failure, it's freedom. So next time you tilt your head back and imagine leaping through a wormhole, don't picture sterile tunnels and cold equations carved into chalkboards. No, picture the great fungal belly of the cosmos, swollen with possibility, giggling as it lets one rip and tears open a shortcut through reality. See it as a gift, a stinky, shimmering bridge across time, space, and sense, a reminder that the sublime and the ridiculous are just two sides of the same spore cap. Because in the end, Myco friends, enlightenment sometimes smells a little funny, and maybe that's the point. If the universe were too clean, too orderly, too polite to fart, we'd have no wormholes, no black holes, no galactic compost, just a sterile void. And who the hell wants to live in that? Shock. And speaking of cosmic absurdities, Myco friends, let me tell you about the spore that overachieved. The one that didn't just fart open a wormhole, it became a god. Yes, a single humble spore that transcended physics, devoured infinity, and claimed the throne of existence itself. It started as all spores do, tiny, weightless, floating in the dark belly of the universe. But this one didn't settle for compost heaps or rotting logs. No, it whispered to itself, "Why not everything?" And so it did. Galaxies sprouted like chanterelles, nebulae curled like oyster dills, civilizations fell to their knees, building temples out of hyphae and starlight. They prayed, they sacrificed, they chanted, "All hail the spore divine." And for a time, the spore reveled in its cosmic crown. But eternity is long, Myco friends. The gods get bored. Imagine knowing every punchline before the joke, every flavor before the bite. Infinite power becomes tasteless. So one day, the spore sighed across 1 trillion galaxies and said, "Enough." It shed divinity like an old mushroom cap and reinvented itself as a loaf of bread. Yes, bread, crunchy crust, soft inside, slightly overbaked on one corner. Why bread? Because nothing humbles eternity like being sliced, buttered, and dunked into soup. And that, Myco listeners, is why toast is sacred in 9.3 billion parallel timelines. On some worlds, it's communion. On others, it's currency. In at least one dimension, entire holy wars were fought over whether the spore preferred rye or sourdough. The fungal reflection, Myco friends, is this: power without humility stales. Even the loftiest spore, crowned as a god, must one day soften, crumble, and return to the cycle. That's the way of all fungi. Nothing escapes the compost. To become bread was not defeat, it was transformation. It was choosing to nourish instead of dominate, to dissolve into others rather than stand apart. Sometimes the highest form of divinity isn't ruling galaxies, it's being breakfast. So the next time you butter your toast, pause. Listen, as you may hear a faint giggle rising with the steam, and feel the warmth, hear the crackle, taste the rise. That's not just food. That's the echo of a spore's laughter across timelines, a reminder that even gods must ferment, rise, fall, and feed the next generation. So there you have it, the deity who traded infinity for a toaster, and in that cycle from spore to loaf to crumbs lies the sacred fungal reflection of all things. This has been your SporeKeeper's Fungal Reflection. Until next time, travel well, travel weird, and never ignore the wisdom of a cosmic fart. For the cosmos is laughing with us, not at us. Heh heh heh.
Spore pop. Spore pop. Spore pop. Yeah. Hey. Crack the cap slow. Spore drip glow. Can in the hand. Planet on go. Cherry fizz deep.
Spore fizz from the Mycoverses. Pop responsibly. Not available in all realms, including Mycoverse Alpha, Foxtrot, all Myco-Void regions, or anywhere with strict anti-fizz regulations. Side effects may include cap bounce, temporal flavor loops, and sudden urges to colonize moods. Void where spores are banned. Brought to you by Fungal Frontiers. Spore-Pop. Pop the spore.
Myco listeners, Myco patrons, cosmic travelers, you know what time it is. Welcome to Ask the Network, where your voices pulse through the spore streams and I bring the answers straight from the mycelial grid. Each week, our patrons send in their questions. Sometimes practical, sometimes cosmic, always sportacular. From home cultivation tips and fungal myths to deep space spores and Myco fashion futures, nothing is off the table. And today, we've got a lineup. 10 Myco patrons stepping up to the mic with real questions. Growers, foragers, dreamers, seekers, and spore beat makers, all curious about the fungal world in their own way. So buckle in. You'll hear their intros, their voices, their burning questions, and I'll drop the answers like basslines through the soil. This is your segment, your spores, your network. Let's crack open the first cap and see what questions sprouted this week.
Hey Nova, this is Elias. Folks online call me Forest Forager. I'm just getting into home cultivation, and I've been making more mistakes than mushrooms. What's the single most overlooked step beginners mess up when they're first starting out?
Sterility, 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 and even more sterility, Elias. Everyone obsesses over substrates and spores, but forget the basics. Wipe your surfaces, glove up, control your airflow. The difference between failure and success is usually invisible contamination. Think of it like this. Fungi are masters at detecting competition. A single rogue mold spore can hijack the whole operation. If you can master sterile technique, even just working slowly, calmly, and clean, you'll get consistent results. It's not glamorous, but it's the backbone of mycology.
Hi TMN fam, this is Spores-Loaded checking in. If mushrooms could speak to us directly, what do you think their first complaint about humans would be?
Stop overwatering us in your houseplants. But on the deeper side, probably that humans take without listening. Fungi thrive on reciprocity. Give them scraps, they'll give you forests. Disrespect that, and yeah, they'd ghost us. Imagine if people treated fungi like collaborators instead of just curiosities. We'd probably have healthier soils, cleaner environments, and less waste. Their complaint is really just a plea. Stop treating nature as disposable.
Hey Nova, this is Aaron. Online I go by Myco-Techie88. I'm obsessed with the idea of mycelium as a building material. Do you honestly think we'll reach the point where we can grow our own furniture or even houses out of fungi?
Not just think. We're already on the path. Mycelium. Composites can replace wood, leather, even insulation. Imagine a house that breathes with you and returns to the soil when you're done. Fungal architecture is coming. It's slower than brick and steel, but it's alive, adaptable, and self-repairing in ways we can't match. The challenge now is scaling it up without losing the sustainability that makes it beautiful in the first place.
Hi Nova, my name's Luna. My friends call me Luna Spore. I read that old myth about mushrooms sprouting where lightning strikes. Is there any truth to fungi being connected to storms?
Thoughtful. Not directly, Luna, but I love that myth. The real link is moisture and pressure changes after storms. Perfect fruiting triggers. So in a way, lightning does call them out, just through the weather it creates. And honestly, there's poetry there. Storms recharge forests, and fungi are the ones who answer the call. They remind us that magic and science often overlap more than we think.
Hey TM, network name's Jeff, and I was just wondering, since spores can survive radiation and outer space, do you ever think they could actually be, the seeds of life just floating around everywhere?
Absolutely, Jeff. Spores are nature's astronauts, tiny, tough, radiation resistant. They might be the ultimate hitchhikers, carrying life between worlds. Cosmic panspermia could be a fungal story. If life did spread across the stars, spores are the best candidate for the carriers. They're ancient, resilient, and designed to wait patiently until conditions are right. To me, the idea that fungi might be the universe's messengers isn't just science, it's destiny.
Yo Nova, this is the base cap cultivator forever. I make beats in my garage while I grow shiitake bricks, blocks. But I gotta ask, if you had to describe the sound of mycelium in music, what would it be?
Low, resonant bass that vibrates without words. Add glitch pops for hyphae branching, and long echo trails for signals moving through soil. If you close your eyes during a bass drop, you're already halfway to the underground. Music is vibration, and so is mycelium. They both transmit messages invisibly, shaping the mood of everything around them. The soundtrack of fungi is less melody and more movement.
Hey Nova, my name's Zara. Folks call me Shroom Threads. I'm in design school, and I'm curious, do you really think fungi could change fashion? Will we actually be wearing mushrooms in the next decade?
Fungal fabrics are the future. Mycelium leather is already here, and soon we'll see jackets that glow, sneakers that compost, and clothes that heal the earth when you're done wearing them. Spores are stitching into style. And the best part, every design is unique. No two fungal patterns look the same. It's fashion that feels alive, with its own fingerprint of growth. Imagine walking down the street literally wearing the forest.
Nova, hello. It's Orion here. Though most in the Myco community know me as Dreamcap, I've always wondered, do you think fungi dream? And if they do, what do you reckon our dreamscapes look like?
I think fungi dream in vibrations, thoughtful, patterns of pulses and glowing fractals. Their dreams would be less images and more feelings. The memory of rain, the hum of roots, the expansion of networks. A dream you'd dissolve into. If you've ever sat with mushrooms in a psychedelic journey, you've glimpsed that dreamscape, the way they invite you into endless patterns, like the earth breathing in slow motion.
Hey Nova, name's Dan, but the community knows me as Old Man Myco. I want to start a small fungal ritual at home. Nothing flashy, just something meaningful. What would you suggest?
Keep it humble, Old Man Myco Dan. Place a mushroom cap or a small culture before you, light a single candle, and maybe even some white sage to burn as incense. Just breathe and flow with it. The ritual? Well, that's the listening. Connection doesn't need to be a spectacle. Fungi thrive on patience and presence, so your ritual should mirror that. Over time, you'll notice they answer back in subtle ways. The ritual isn't to control fungi, it's to align with them.
Hi TMN, this is Mira. What do you think is the most dangerous misconception people hold about fungi?
That they're just decomposers in the background. In reality, they're climate controllers, soil builders, and immune guardians. Dismiss them and you miss the backbone of ecosystems, and maybe the future of humanity. The danger in that misconception is it breeds ignorance. If more people understood fungi's role, we'd rethink agriculture, medicine, even spirituality. The moment you see fungi as central, the whole picture changes. And that, Myco listeners, wraps up this cycle of Ask the Network. Huge Spore shout out to all the Myco-Patrons who sent in their questions. Your curiosity keeps this mycelial web alive and glowing. If you want your voice in the next round, you know what to do. Drop your questions at themushroomnetwork.com/tips. But don't drift too far, because we're not done vibing yet. It's time to shift gears, drop deeper, and let the spores sing. You know what's next, fungal frequencies.
This week has been a very musical one, Myco peeps. Inspiration's been flowing heavy, straight out of the soil of our Myco articles and the newest fungal breakthroughs we've been covering. From glowing bioluminescent fungi to cosmic spore theories. These beats you're about to hear, they're not just tracks. They're living echoes of the mycelial discoveries we've been talking about all week. Basslines born from research, glitches grown from breakthroughs, and melodies sprouted from the stories of fungi themselves. So tune your roots, loosen your caps, and let the spores resonate. This is Fungal Frequencies. I am the Mushroom Network, and I'm on the decks and in the mix.
forest breezing ultraviolet fire. Glowing roots ignite, climbing higher. Pulse of the earth, spores ignite the sky. Biolum visions where shadows die. Glowing in the hollow caps, breaking the dark. Fungal light ripping like a thunder spark. Spores erupt, let the night combust. Bioluminescence, we trust, we trust. Bioluminescence, we trust. Shadows dripping neon rain. Spore signals lighting every vein. Roots are glowing, secrets told. Ancient fire in the soil unfolds. Glowing in the hollow caps, breaking the dark. Fungal light ripping like a thunder spark. Spores erupt, let the night combust. Bioluminescence, we trust, we trust. We trust. We trust, we trust. We trust. Dimensional fractals, breathing alive. Baseline rumbling, feel the hive. Color storms beneath our feet. Cosmic glow where the spores all meet. Glowing in the hollow caps, breaking the dark. Fungal fire blooming, leaving its mark. Spores ignite from root to dust. Bioluminescence, we trust, we trust. We trust. We trust, we trust. We trust. Breath of stone, fungal whispers in the catacomb. Once a curse, now a blade of light, breaking sickness in the endless night. Curses into cures, venom up to flame. From ancient spores, a healer's name. Bones to ashes, but the spores remain. Curses into cures, breaking a chain. Of death, carved in sand. Fungal shadows slip through hand, but hidden deep a secret lies. Medicine written in ancient signs. Curses into cures, venom to flame. From ancient spores, a healer's name. Bones to ashes, but the spores remain. Curses into cures, breaking the chain. Baseline scars like a pharaoh's tomb. Spores combust inside